If you are thinking about selling your coastal Delaware home and you're using 2021 as your benchmark, stop. The market that made headlines 5 years ago is gone. Inventory has come back and the buyer psychology has reset. And the pricing strategy that worked then will cost you thousands of dollars now. I'm going to show you exactly what changed and what it means for anyone selling in 2026. In 2021, coastal Delaware looked like this. Inventory was so tight that a home could sit for 3 weeks with no showings and still sell for $50,000 over ask on day 30. Sellers had all the leverage. Any agent could move any home because the market was doing the selling, not the agent, not the pricing, and not the condition. The market itself was the asset. Think about what that felt like if you were selling then. You listed a home, you got 3 offers in the first week, all of them above ask, and you could be picky. You could wait. You could price high and let the market tell you when it was ready. And the market was always ready. That market trained a generation of sellers to think one way. Price high, wait, and the market will catch up. Any agent will tell you the same thing. And for about 18 months, 21 and 22, the market actually did catch up. Every time without fail. But that was 5 years ago. I'm Andy Staton, more than 20 years on this coast and over 1,000 homes sold through multiple cycles. What I'm about to tell you matters because the sellers I'm seeing right now still operate like it's 2021, and that thinking is costing them real money in 2026. Lesson 1. Inventory came back and buyers came back with it. Let's start with the number that changes everything. In 2021, we had about 3 weeks of inventory on the coast. 3 weeks. That means if every home on the market sold tomorrow, you could replace the entire market in 21 days. Well, that's a seller's market by definition. That's the dream for anyone trying to sell. In 2026, we're sitting at just under 12 weeks of inventory. That's 4 times what it was 5 years ago. Still below the national average, which sits around 5.5 months. But the difference from 2021 is stark, almost unrecognizable. What does 12 weeks actually mean in real terms? It means buyers have options now, multiple options, and real choices, and they're not desperate. They're not competing with 3 other offers in a blind auction with appraisals waived and inspections skipped. They're shopping and comparing and walking away from homes that don't fit the price or the condition they're looking at. Well, that changes everything about how you sell. Everything. In 2021, the question was, how much over ask can I get? In 26, the question is, how do I position this home so it doesn't sit? Those are 2 completely different games. If you want to see what homes are actually selling for in your specific part of coastal Delaware right now, there's a free market price breakdown in the description below. It has current numbers by town and based on real closed sales. Lesson 2, pricing strategy changed completely. This is where most sellers get stuck because the 2021 pricing strategy was simple enough that any agent could execute it. List high and let the market tell you when to come down. Buyers were so desperate that even an overpriced home would eventually move, just at a higher number than if you price it right. Well, that strategy doesn't work anymore. And I need to be blunt about why, because it's costing sellers on this coast right now. In 2026, overpricing doesn't buy you time. It costs you that first window. And the first window is everything. And here's what the data shows on the coast. And I'm pulling this from closings that I've done, comps that I've tracked, and feedback that I've collected from buyers. Homes priced right on day 1, they get serious showings between days 3 and 14. Real buyers, qualified buyers, buyers who have been waiting for a home just like yours. Homes priced 10% over, they get a few showings in that first window, and then traffic stops. By day 21, those overpriced homes have lost the most qualified buyers in the market, the buyers who set the floor for what the home is worth. Now you're selling to less qualified buyers, which means lower offers, and more negotiation, and longer timeline, and often a lower final sale price than you would have gotten with honest pricing on day 1. The sellers operating on 2021 strategy, the ones I see frustrated in my office in July, they see 3 weeks of quiet and they panic and they cut the price. And then they wonder why they end up 40 or 50,000 below where an honest price on day 1 would have landed them. Well, the math doesn't lie. The market isn't negotiating with you anymore. It's comparing you to everything else available right now. So price accordingly or get left behind. Lesson 3, buyer psychology shifted from desperate to deliberate. This is the piece that most sellers miss entirely because it's not just about the inventory, it's about how that inventory changed the way buyers think. In 2021, buyers were emotional. They were competing against other buyers for the same home, and they were offering $100,000 over ask on homes they've seen once. FOMO, fear of missing out. It was real and it was driving every single decision. The emotional buyer was the normal buyer. In 2026, buyers are deliberate. They're watching this market for months. They know what sold last quarter and even yesterday. They know the price per square foot down to the dollar. They've already visited every home in their price range. They know exactly what they're looking for and exactly how much they're willing to pay for it. That means emotion is entirely gone from the equation. Negotiation is back, logic is back, and comparison is back. A seller in 2021 could list overpriced and count on a buyer to stretch emotionally and make up the gap. A seller in 26 can't count on that. The buyer is too informed and the inventory is too deep. They will just look at that next house. And the sellers I'm seeing struggle right now are the ones still trying to negotiate with emotion. They think the home will sell itself because it's on the coast. They think Coastal Delaware premium is automatic. It isn't anymore. It's earned through pricing, through condition, through positioning, through understanding what buyers actually want versus what sellers assume they want. Miss one of those three and you're competing downward instead of upward. Lesson 4, what this actually cost you. Let me give you a concrete example so this isn't just theory. A seller lists a home in Rehoboth at $850,000 on a property the market would support at $799,000. That's about a 6% overpricing. Not crazy high, but enough to test the market. Week 1, a few showings. Feedback is consistent. It's a nice home, but the price feels high. Week 2, showings slow significantly. The most qualified buyers have moved on. And in week 3, the seller's nervous, cuts the price to $825,000. And the market doesn't respond because the gap between their price and market value is still too wide. And then week 5, another cut to $799,000, the price it should have been on day 1. But now the home has been on the market for 5 weeks. Every new buyer who sees it now sees a listing that's been sitting. Well, that carries a story. What's wrong with that house? That story changes the conversation from, is it worth $799,000 to why should I pay full price for a home that sat for a month? The seller then closes at $769,000. That's $30,000 below the market value on day 1. Not because the home isn't worth it, because the days on market counter told a story that overrode the actual value. Well, that's what overpricing is costing you. Not the initial gap, the cascading cost of sitting inventory. The honest reality, 2021 was an anomaly. One of the hottest seller markets in modern history. It was never gonna last. The data said it wouldn't. The economics said it wouldn't, and it didn't. The sellers who are winning right now, closing at or near ask, selling in reasonable timeframes, not fighting appraisal gaps, are the ones who've adapted. They price right on day 1. They understand the first 2 weeks are diagnostic and not negotiation. They know that inventory means buyer choice, and buyer choice means you have to earn the sale, not just wait for it to happen. Coastal Delaware is still a strong market, still a market where good homes sell well, but the market that made headlines 5 years ago is gone. And the sooner you stop thinking like it's 2021, the sooner you understand how to actually win in 2026. Here's what I tell sellers who are still anchored to old numbers and old strategies. The market has moved. Price accordingly and you move with it. Price it like it's 2021 and you get left behind. If you want to understand how to navigate buying in this market, what to look for, what to avoid, and how to position yourself, hit subscribe.